On Wednesday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau convened once again with the country's premiers to develop a unified strategy in response to escalating threats of trade actions from U.S. President Donald Trump. This meeting comes at a critical time as tensions surrounding trade relations between Canada and the United States have intensified, particularly with Trump's recent indications of a potential trade war. The First Ministers gathered virtually to assess the latest developments in U.S. trade policy, especially in light of Trump's initial decision to delay the imposition of tariffs through an executive order. However, this pause was short-lived, as the president later reaffirmed his commitment to implementing tariffs on Canadian imports starting February 1st. This shift in stance has prompted urgent discussions among Canadian leaders about how to protect the nation's economy and respond effectively to U.S. actions. The backdrop to these meetings is a complicated and often contentious relationship between Canada and the United States, two nations that share one of the largest trading partnerships in the world. The potential for tariffs, particularly a 25% levy on Canadian imports, threatens to disrupt this relationship and could have far-reaching consequences for both economies. For Canada, such tariffs would not only impact exporters, but also lead to increased prices for consumers and job losses in various sectors. Trudeau and the premiers recognize that a united front is essential in addressing these challenges. The Prime Minister's meetings with provincial leaders reflect the necessity of collaboration across political boundaries to formulate a comprehensive response strategy. The urgency of these discussions is heightened by the imminent deadlines associated with U.S. trade policy decisions, which could severely impact Canadian industries that rely heavily on access to the U.S. market. In light of the looming trade war, Trudeau and the provincial leaders are also focusing on dismantling long-standing internal barriers to trade within Canada. By streamlining regulations and making it easier for goods and workers to move across provincial borders, the Canadian government aims to bolster its economic resilience in the face of external pressures. Historically, Canada has grappled with various internal trade barriers that have hindered the free flow of goods and services between provinces. These barriers can take many forms, including regulatory discrepancies, licensing issues, and varying standards that complicate cross-border trade. By addressing these challenges, Canadian leaders hope to enhance the competitive position of Canadian businesses and reduce their vulnerability to U.S. tariffs. The collaboration between Trudeau and the premiers emphasizes the importance of intergovernmental cooperation in addressing economic challenges. Each province has unique economic strengths and vulnerabilities, and a coordinated approach is crucial for maximizing the collective potential of the Canadian economy. During their discussions, the First Ministers likely explored strategies for harmonizing regulations and standards across provinces to facilitate trade. For instance, simplifying licensing requirements for businesses operating in multiple provinces can significantly reduce costs and administrative burdens. Additionally, creating a more unified approach to taxation and regulatory compliance can help Canadian businesses operate more efficiently. In addition to government efforts, engaging the private sector is essential for successfully dismantling internal trade barriers. Business leaders and industry associations can provide valuable insights into the specific challenges they face when navigating interprovincial trade. By involving the private sector in these discussions, Trudeau and the premiers can develop targeted solutions that address the needs of various industries. Furthermore, fostering a culture of collaboration between government and business can lead to innovative approaches to trade. For example, the development of technology platforms that facilitate interprovincial trade and logistics can streamline operations and enhance competitiveness. As Trudeau and the premiers strategize on how to respond to U.S. trade threats, it is equally important to prepare for the potential economic disruptions that may arise. A sudden imposition of tariffs could lead to immediate challenges for businesses and consumers alike, and having contingency plans in place is critical for mitigating these impacts. One potential measure could involve establishing financial support programs for industries that are most at risk from U.S. tariffs. This could include direct financial assistance for businesses facing increased costs or job losses, as well as initiatives aimed at supporting workforce development and retraining. Additionally, the government may consider investing in infrastructure projects that enhance connectivity between provinces. Improved transportation networks can facilitate trade and support economic growth, making Canadian businesses more resilient in the face of external pressures. Amid the uncertainty surrounding U.S. trade policy, it is crucial for Canadian leaders to present a unified voice to both domestic and international audiences. Trudeau's meetings with the premiers symbolize a commitment to collaboration and solidarity, which can send a strong message to U.S. officials regarding Canada's determination to protect its economic interests. A coordinated response can also help to reassure Canadian businesses and consumers that their government is actively working to address the challenges posed by U.S. trade actions. This sense of stability is essential for maintaining confidence in the Canadian economy, particularly during times of uncertainty. In addition to preparing for potential trade disruptions, engaging directly with U.S. officials is a vital aspect of Canada's strategy. By fostering open lines of communication with American policymakers, Canadian leaders can advocate for a more balanced and fair approach to trade. This engagement can help to highlight the interconnectedness of the Canadian and U.S. economies, emphasizing the mutual benefits that arise from cooperation. During these discussions, Trudeau and his team may seek to articulate how Canadian industries contribute to the U.S. economy, creating jobs and driving innovation. By framing the conversation around shared interests, Canada can work to mitigate the risk of escalating tensions and potentially influence U.S. trade policy decisions. As Canada navigates these challenges, it is essential to maintain a long-term vision for trade policy that prioritizes resilience and adaptability. The current situation serves as a reminder of the vulnerabilities inherent in relying heavily, don't you okay, on a single trading partner. In the future, Canada may consider diversifying its trade relationships by seeking new markets and strengthening ties with other countries. By expanding its network of international partnerships, Canada can reduce its dependency on the U.S. market and enhance its economic stability. On Wednesday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau convened once again with the country's premiers to further develop a strategic response to the increasing threat posed by U.S. trade actions under President Donald Trump. This meeting underscored the urgency of the situation, as tensions surrounding trade relations between Canada and the United States escalated. Collaborative efforts are for potential fallout. The First Ministers gathered virtually to discuss significant developments in U.S. trade policy that have unfolded over the past week. Initially, President Trump had indicated he would delay the imposition of tariffs through an executive order, which offered a temporary sense of relief. However, he later reversed this decision, announcing a commitment to impose substantial tariffs on Canadian imports starting February 1st. This shift has heightened concerns in Canada about the implications for its economy and the potential for a trade war. The specter of tariffs looms large over the Canadian economy, which is deeply intertwined with that of the United States. A trade war could disrupt supply chains, increase prices for consumers, and threaten jobs across various sectors. With these economic stakes in mind, Trudeau and the provincial leaders are working diligently to formulate a comprehensive response that can mitigate the adverse effects of U.S. trade actions. The meeting served as a platform for Trudeau and the premiers to align their positions and strategies. By coming together, they signaled a unified front against any unilateral trade measures that could harm Canadian interests. This collaboration is crucial, as the provinces play a significant role in various sectors of the economy, and a coordinated response can amplify Canada's negotiating power. Trudeau emphasized the importance of solidarity among provinces, stating that a collective approach would demonstrate to the U.S. that Canada is not willing to be bullied into submission. The premiers echoed this sentiment, acknowledging that while the federal government is tasked with international negotiations, provinces must also prepare to support affected industries and workers. In light of the looming trade war, Trudeau and the premiers are not only focused on external threats, but are also addressing long-standing internal barriers that hinder trade and mobility within Canada. By working to dismantle these barriers, they aim to create a more integrated national economy that can better withstand external pressures. Efforts to enhance interprovincial trade could involve reducing regulatory hurdles that complicate the movement of goods and services across provincial borders. For instance, harmonizing standards and regulations can simplify the process for businesses looking to operate in multiple provinces, ultimately boosting economic efficiency. Additionally, facilitating the movement of workers across provinces is a key aspect of this strategy. As various regions experience different economic conditions, Enabling workers to relocate seamlessly can help address labor shortages in specific areas while providing opportunities for Canadians to find employment. By prioritizing these internal reforms, Canada can strengthen its overall economic resilience. As Trudeau and the Premier strategize, it is essential to consider the potential impact of a trade war on Canadian industries and consumers. Tariffs imposed by the U.S. could lead to increased costs for Canadian exporters, making their goods less competitive in the U.S. market. This situation could have severe repercussions for key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. For instance, Canadian farmers, who rely heavily on exporting their products to the U.S., could face significant challenges. Increased tariffs on agricultural goods would likely result in reduced sales and lower prices, jeopardizing their livelihoods. Similarly, manufacturers who depend on U.S. markets for their goods could see a decline in demand, leading to layoffs and economic instability. Consumers in Canada would also feel the effects of a trade war. If tariffs are imposed on imported goods, prices for everyday products could rise, putting additional financial strain on households. This scenario could lead to a decrease in consumer spending, further exacerbating economic challenges. In response to these potential challenges, Trudeau and the Premiers are exploring various avenues to build resilience within the Canadian economy. Collaborative initiatives aimed at fostering innovation, supporting affected industries, and enhancing workforce skills are essential components of this strategy. By investing in research and development, Canada can position itself as a leader in emerging industries and technologies. This focus on innovation not only offers the potential for economic growth, but also helps mitigate the risks associated with relying heavily on traditional sectors that may be vulnerable to external shocks. Moreover, supporting industries that are particularly susceptible to U.S. tariffs is critical. This could involve providing financial assistance, tax incentives, or other forms of support to help businesses adapt to changing market conditions. By ensuring that these industries remain competitive, Canada can safeguard jobs and maintain economic stability. While internal strategies are crucial, Trudeau and his counterparts recognize the importance of diplomatic efforts in addressing the trade tensions, with the U.S. engaging in dialogue with U.S. officials and lawmakers is essential for communicating Canada's position and advocating for a fair resolution to the trade dispute. Trudeau has previously emphasized the significance of the Canada-U.S. relationship, highlighting the interconnectedness of the two economies. By framing the discussion around mutual benefits, he aims to remind U.S. leaders of the economic contributions that Canada makes to the American economy, including job creation and investment. Additionally, leveraging relationships with other countries facing similar challenges can amplify Canada's voice on the international stage. Building coalitions with allies who share common interests in promoting fair trade practices could strengthen Canada's position in negotiations with the U.S. As the situation evolves, effective public communication will be vital. Trudeau and the Premiers need to keep Canadians informed about the potential impacts of U.S. tariffs and the measures being taken to address them. Transparency in government actions can foster public trust and confidence, which are essential for maintaining stability in the face of uncertainty. Engaging with stakeholders, including business leaders and industry associations, can provide valuable insights into the challenges facing various sectors. By collaborating with these groups, the government can develop targeted strategies that address specific needs and concerns. Looking beyond the immediate crisis, Trudeau and the Premiers are also considering the long-term implications of the current situation. The threat of U.S. trade actions serves as a reminder of the need for Canada to strengthen its economic foundations and ensure its resilience in the face of global challenges. This long-term vision involves not only addressing current vulnerabilities, but also embracing opportunities for growth and innovation. By fostering a diverse and dynamic economy, Canada can better withstand external pressures and position itself for success in an increasingly competitive global landscape. The meeting between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the provincial premiers represents a critical moment in Canada's response to the escalating trade tensions with the United States. As the threat of U.S. tariffs looms, the collaborative efforts to strategize and dismantle internal barriers reflect a commitment to protecting Canadian interests and ensuring economic resilience.